Hi, my name's Nadeem, and I'm a writer, and I'm going to do a short video just to kind of give you a few pointers and a few tips in terms of getting started. First and foremost, be very, very clear about what you want to say, what you want your writing to say. Sounds easy, but believe me, it isn't. Because after 27 years of writing, I'm only just beginning to get the hang of it. And basically, the best sort of advice I could give you is to write in a way that ensures that the reader is able to build a picture in their mind, of your story, of your poem, of your song, whatever. As long as they can form a picture in their mind of what it is you're actually trying to say, what kind of story you're trying to tell, then that's paramount, really. It's probably the most crucial ingredient, just knowing what you want to say. The next thing is to write from your heart and write about what you know. Okay? Because if you write from your heart, you're going to be genuine and you're going to touch a lot of people, and it's not going to be contrived and so on. And write about what you know, because the more you can kind of communicate from your own experience, the better the chances are of being able to connect with an audience. Okay, because there are two facets of any kind of creativity. There's the actual creativity itself, i.e. in this case obviously the writing in itself, which is fine. Anybody can write if they put their mind to it. But the more crucial ingredient in this is actually being able to write in a way that connects with your audience. So you've got to know who you're writing for as well. And that can be quite hard to do. That can be quite hard to get right. It'd probably take you, I would say, a good few years to master that one. Because I'll be honest, it probably took me about 7 or 8 years to get the hang of that. To kind of write in a way that does connect with an audience. Another thing I would suggest is, if you're a poet, for example, try and go to creative writing groups, and I would recommend that you find one in particular that you gel with, and stick to that. Because I think if you go to too many different types of writing group, different groups will have different perspectives and so on, and that can sometimes cloud your creativity. So what I would say is research the creative writing groups. Maybe go and sit in on a couple, and then make an informed decision based on that. Because I actually find, if you can find one specific group that you gel with, the facilitators and the other members of that group, if you gel with them, that's half the battle. Because you need to be in an environment where you can freely express and communicate ideas. Okay, and contrary to what some people might think, having years of experience of writing doesn't necessarily make you an expert. Because to me, everyone's opinion counts. I've learnt stuff from writers who are brand new. Sometimes I've learnt more from writers who are brand new than those who've actually been doing it 30, 40, 50 years. So everybody's, what I'm basically trying to say there is everybody's input is important. Never ever underestimate the input of a new writer. The next thing is to have fun with it. You know, don't take it too seriously. I personally am not a fan of the theoretical side of writing, you know, the academic side of writing. I'm not a fan of it. If it works for you, fine, you know, go with it. But for me, it's all about feel and empathy and emotion and, you know, human relationships and stuff like that. You know, those are the things that kind of matter to me. You know, how your writing actually affects a reader, you know, on a personal level. That's what matters to me more than anything, because anybody can write, you know, a piece of, you know, creative literature, okay, but very few people can write in such a way that it connects with a reader or a listener. You know, that's actually quite hard to do. But one thing I would suggest as well, particularly if you're a poet, try and get to a point where you feel comfortable enough performing your work on a stage, because that's what I did. I'd been writing for about 12-13 years before I actually plucked up the courage to go public, as it were, and, you know, and perform on a stage. And I actually did it the opposite way round to the vast majority of people. I actually started performing on stage first, whereas most people write first. Well, they go to creative writing groups first. They get some kind of recognition for their writing, i.e. they get featured in an anthology or something, and then they go out on stage and perform, whereas I actually did the performance side first, and that actually gave me quite a lot of confidence, really. But as I say, it works, you know, it works differently for different people. So, but yeah, if you are sort of performance inclined, then yes, I would strongly suggest, you know, going to open mic nights and actually showcasing your work there, you know, your writing there. And above all, have fun doing it. You know, as I say, don't take writing too seriously. You know, there are lots of sort of trains of thought on this where people say, oh, you know, you have to think about rhyme and meter and all that kind of stuff, iambic pentameters and all that sort of stuff. To me, a good, you know, a decent piece of writing doesn't have to worry about that. What's important is the story. You know, that is the crucial ingredient. As long as the story's solid and it flows properly, and you know, you can make a connection to it, that's the only thing that matters, really. And that's it. And it doesn't matter whether you've been writing for 5 minutes or 5 decades. Everybody's writing has something in it, has a crucial ingredient. It's only with time that you realise what that power is. You know, and sometimes, as I say, you know, one of the best things you can do is to actually go on stage and perform in front of an audience. I mean, the one advantage of that is whatever reaction you get is an immediate reaction. The thing about, you know, posting on blogs and getting stuff published in anthologies is great, but you won't always get a reaction straight away. You'd have to be a lot more patient. So as a kind of a dummy run, it is kind of good to go on stage first. But as I say, you know, this advice that I'm giving out now is just a guide. You know, you have to do what is right for you, really. So yeah, that's just a quick overview of pointers that I could possibly give you if you wanted to get started with writing. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you around. Okay then, bye bye.